YouTube is full of videos about good knives. It's full of videos about bad knives. It's high time that someone makes a video about weird knives. This is 3 Weird Knives, and I'm your host, JJJinks!
Let's get weird.
Yes, somehow I managed to find 3 more. I apologize ahead of time about the background noise. One of my roommates has his parents over and they're playing games. My house has been invaded by Koreans, but the food is delicious. Bok choy, spicy pork, that short grain sweet rice cooked in pork fat. I am stuffed. I needed to get away from the from the visiting of the people, because every time I step into the kitchen or near it, the Korean babushkas refill my plate. I just can't take anymore. Let's talk about some weird knives. Well, I gotta say, this knife has some excellent box art. Check out this half head of a lion. That looks really good, actually. Like, I'd wear that on a t-shirt, you know? That's good stuff. I like the combination of the black, white, orange, yellow. Man, look at that eye. This is high quality printing. It's probably the most high quality thing about this. Anyway, it is the best or nothing. Here's what we're in for. We are not only the designers of this product, space comma, but also the users of the product. And in some futuristic looking font, scope of application. Spicy. Outdoor survival, space comma, mountaineering, no comma, camping, proper comma, outdoor sports, space comma, tools as gifts, comma, military enthusiasts. That's especially funny when you see what this thing looks like. And finally, collection. Well, knife instructions. Let's have a look at the thing first. Get a rather nice nylon sheath. I like the white stitching. It kind of makes it pop a little bit. Yes, feast your eyes, military enthusiasts. What we have is a ridiculous compound ground blade with one of them gut hook things, an Emerson-style bottle opener. I haven't tried it. The way that this piece is cut at that angle, I don't think it would work very well. A hole. And what we have is a bunch of gears. We have this steampunk looking mechanism, but as you'll soon see, it's actually functional. So what's going on with this handle is that there's another tool sort of hidden in this thing. To unleash the tool, we read the instructions. Or instruction. Here's how you go knife to scissor. Number 1, open the clip. Number 2, push the upper handle backward to separate the gear, and make sure the cutting board can be unfolded. Interesting use of alternating upper and lowercase letters in that sentence. Unfold the cutting board and make it a 30-degree angle with the blade. Make sure the upper handle is parallel to the cutting board, and push the handle forward, and finally lock it up. I also noticed they misspelled parallel. It says parallel. Okay, let's make the handle parallel. Alright, here's how it works. You got a latch down here that you want to squeeze a little bit and flick it off to the back there. That opens up the top. Then you make sure that it's disengaged with the gears, and you swing the other side forward. This is what they refer to as the cutting board. It'll make a little more sense momentarily. Alright, about 30 degrees, like it said. Then we just push this forward until the gears re-engage. And then close it. And then we got this little lever that locks it into place. Oh, okay. I figured it out. It's this latch here. It's supposed to go a little bit past this notch. And that locks it into place. So now I'm... Yes, now we're talking. So, that, in theory, works as gardening shears, or scissors. Here's the thing. It doesn't work very well. I couldn't cut a single thing I tried to cut. I tried to cut a stick. I tried to cut a straw. I tried to cut a Q-tip. Let's see if we can cut paper. That's the test for knives, right? Well, it kind of poked a hole in it. What if I drag it? Oh, now I've gone and disengaged the mechanism, which is how you change it from a scissor to a knife. Gently push the upper handle forward to unlock the buckle lock. First time that's been mentioned. Push the upper handle backward to separate the gear. Make sure the cutting board can be turned separately. Folding the cutting board back and let it absorb to the lower handle by the magnet. Wait, there's a magnet. There is a magnet. Look, there's a magnet right there. I never noticed that. What does it do? I guess it... Yeah, it retains it. I actually didn't know that was there. That's pretty cool. Easier to go back to the knife. You just... Yeah. Well, in spite of coming with illustrated instructions, I struggled with this thing. But thank you, EDC fans, for making this into reality. Somebody had this idea, and EDC fans manufactured it. I think it's a really cool concept. To have something that can transform from one tool to another. Just imagine if it were well executed and useful. I kind of picture this mechanism as being an attachment that you can put onto any knife. Like, you can do gardening with your Benchmade bug out. Or you can get a haircut with a Spyderco PM2. Clip your nails with a CRK Sebenza. I mean, I would do it. For the next weird knife, we have a mini pocket knife. One piece camping, hiking, survival tool. New. I did not opt for the used model. I've actually been trying to get my hold on a knife like this for the better part of a year and a half. For no reason, because it's not difficult to find. They're very common and they're not expensive. The first time that I placed an order for one of these, it just never came. It was like $1 from Amazon, and like a month went by, nothing, and eventually I had to cancel the order. I just never got around to ordering another one. So these knives, this one happens to come in a green motif to look like a leaf. You can find them in like all metal, a couple different varieties, but it's basically a friction folder that's, when you fold it, it looks like a leaf. And that's pretty much it. But I like friction folders. This one happens to pivot on a brass riveted pin. And it sort of folds back into itself like so, like a good friction folder should. And what you get is this kind of ulu-ish knife. Matter of fact, I think this is pretty similar to what the Alaska Ulu company, whoever they are, I'll put the proper name up in the video, make a product called the Pocket Ulu. And I'm kind of tempted to get one of those because I'm into Ulu-like knives. I'll make a video about all that later. But this particular knife didn't pull it off very well, as it turns out. Here's the problem. This stem of the knife is really sharp. The edges are just really cutting into you, especially since that's what you have to put all the pressure onto in order to, you know, keep the friction folder unfolded, and it stabs into your thumb, and it's not comfortable. And also, if you want to cut something with it, the back end gets in your way. It's like kind of hard to see at this angle, but as I'm kind of rocking the blade, I can't rock back to here because then this hits the table. And it doesn't really stay in its little groove back here. You sort of open it, it goes into the groove, but it doesn't stay in there. So it's a very unstable, unsafe blade that I would never actually use. But the green plastic leaf is quite decorative. One of those hide it in plain sight kind of tools. It'd be kind of cool to get a bunch of these and make like a mosaic and maybe get a flower knife in the middle. I don't know. Just thinking out loud. And now for the third knife. I haven't even opened this one yet. On the side of the box, it says Leader Brands, made exclusively for Leo Company in Taiwan, under quality control supervision. Instructions are on the other side. Design shape that transforms into a knife with handle. Metal loop for attaching to keyring. It is a UFO. I imagine it's going to be somewhat similar to this one, but I don't know. I haven't opened it yet. Alright, leaf knife, let's see what you can do. Let's try an incision here. Success. Okay, my Taiwanese UFO knife. I'm genuinely excited about this. Wrapped in tissue paper. It's heavy. It's an all steel construction. There's your UFO. You have a saucer thing on the bottom, probably some windows or viewports or some such on the top. Oh, and it even says on it, UFO, JF33420. Okay, now, how do I open the UFO? Oh, okay, it's just very stiff. So it's a slip joint. And we get just a straight blade. Huh. Kind of wasn't expecting that. It's not very sharp. And the grind isn't that great. You can see the tool marks and the edge is a little warpy. But you know what? I think that's kind of cool. What you get is, what would you call that? I guess that's a Warncliffe blade. You got some skeletonization in the scales. And a little spacer in the back so that you can beam up cattle and then mutilate their genitals. Yeah, oh, that pivot is, I don't even how it's I'm confused as to how it's put together. Is there, oh, there is a pin. Yeah, there is. Can you see that? That circle in the light there? It was like barely visible. I was like, is it riveted? How is this in there? So yeah, that pin is just barely there. They must have brushed the steel after hitting the pin in there. Hand feel wise, well, it's kind of tiny. This knife is made for a small child, obviously. I don't know. It's not that comfortable, but for cutting boxes, for the novelty factor, this knife, well,
it is out of this world.
The illustration's pretty accurate, too. They even have a line there for the visible part of the blade through the viewing ports, or whatever those are. We come in peace. Just kidding. Oh.